We are live. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Airgun Expo Day 3. Angie, we got some cool stuff here.
We do.
Yeah, this is something I'm really excited to tell you guys about. We have a new sponsor. First of all, let me tell you about all of our sponsors. Airgun Expo. It's brought to you by Gateway to Airguns, Airgun Pro Shop. We got Tyler in the house. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. I was a little more enthusiastic than yesterday.
It was.
We got to work on the enthusiasm.
By tomorrow?
Yeah.
I am an excitable person. I just sound monotone.
Yeah, yes. I do believe I've heard reports of that from your wife. So yes, that is him excited. I guess we'll take it. So we've got Airgun Pro Shop here, and we have a bunch of new sponsors as well. If you want to see all the folks that are helping us put this together for you guys, check them out at the AirgunExpo.com. You can go click on their logo, get more information about them, and even many of them have a web presence on our site. You can connect directly to them, send them an email. So please make use of that. Let them know that you saw their stuff here at Airgun Expo. That would really help us out. One of the new sponsors we have, and this is a new company that's also an advertiser on Gateway Airguns, is Airgun Capital. And I really didn't know anything about them. I don't think you'd ever heard of them.
Nope.
And they make 3D printed CO2 airgun suppressors, moderators, whatever you want to call them, lead dust collectors, depending on what generational area you're in the sport. And it's pretty cool because they're extremely affordable. So you go to their website, and I think Sue can pull up their website for us. I've got some stuff here on my computer, but it's airguncapital.com. And we're talking suppressors that are $16 to $20, give or take, depending on what you're getting. And they have stuff that just works with guns that's just not, that you don't normally have something that works with them. So I think that's very cool. So what we want to do today is we're going to show you some of the options. I don't have some of the guns that they sent some examples for, but I'll show you the suppressors and we'll talk about the guns they work with. But these guys right here, we have stuff, we're going to actually mount them, and we're going to do a couple shots on the dB meter and on the dB meter side. I can tell you, remind me to get back to that, okay?
Okay.
We're going to take a couple shots with and then without. You guys can see the difference. Now, on the dB meter, this is not scientific at all, other than we will get two numbers. And we'll get one with and one without. But in order for this to really give you accurate noise level, you got to have a controlled noise floor. You've got to have an environment where you really take all the variables out. We don't have that. I don't have that capacity. So we're going to have relative numbers. So please take it with a grain of salt. And also humidity matters, elevation matters, air density, all of that stuff matters when you're doing this. So, and we're indoors in a building that doesn't have any soundproofing. So again, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but we will be able to see some differences, which is cool.
Yeah,
you already saw
I
that.
checked them out yesterday.
Yes, you did. And we're also not shooting ammo. So we're just dry firing these guns. If you put a pellet in them or a BB, it is going to change it as well. So it'd be a little bit less with a projectile than just air blowing out the end. So there's a lot of things I just want you guys to understand. We're giving you a general representation, not something that is absolute scientific fact on the noise change. They do work. I'm just going to say that right up front. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. What do you want to shoot first? Let me talk about what we can't test first.
Okay.
And then we'll get to all the things we can test. That make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a couple popular guns. One of them is the Daisy Powerline 415. I'm cheating right off the screen here. And that actually uses this guy right here. Oopsies. This guy right here. I'm just going to leave that down. It uses this guy right here, and it just slides on the gun. So instead of having to have threaded anything to put the suppressor on, it just mounts. The other one that they sent over was for the Umarex XBG, which is the same sort of deal. It's this one right here. So these are suppressors that if you have these guns, these BB guns, and you want to make them quieter, you can just buy this. They are $16, $15.99. This one looks like it grabs hold of the rail and just slides on, and it stays put. So,
And they have rails on them.
and they do. So you have extended rails. You can go ahead and mount optics or lasers. Well, not optics on the bottom, but lasers or whatever you want, lights. That would be interesting. I get it. I was going to go in a place that would have been bad.
Come back, Rick. Come back.
I'm coming back. I'll tell you later. It was funny.
Okay.
I think it was funny. All right. So the first gun. What do you want to look at first? You want to look at the. Well, okay. I'll pick it. let's look at the Diana Chaser.
Okay.
It's the one far right. Okay, so this guy here, it has a threaded muzzle, and we all, as air gunners, know we get a threaded muzzle air gun. What are we thinking? It's 1/2 UNF, right? Well, that's what we think, but this isn't. So if you buy this thinking you're going to thread on a regular moderator, you're not going to be able to do it. Go ahead and pull that off, Andy. It's this guy right here. So the threads on this are smaller. I don't know the exact size, forgive me for not knowing, but they actually make a 3D printed suppressor specifically for this gun. So I'm going to grab the dB meter here, and we're going to put it on max. And I'm going to try and set that back where it is. Maybe I can just push the button without having to move it. What's the number say, Sue?
It depends how quiet it is. When you're talking 69, it's currently at 60s.
Okay, I'm going to hit the, there should be a max, where's the button? There it is, max clock, okay. So I'm going to push that. And it's at 80 something, is that right?
Yeah.
We'll push it
It's
again.
at 74, 69, 62, 61.
Okay, so noise floor in here is high. So we've got Joe coming in. Hey, Joe. He's tired. He was working. He was up late last night. I saw all his little Instagram stuff going on. Right, when I hit this button, it's going to lock. It would be quiet. Shh. Ready? Take a shot. Okay, so 110.5. Now, go ahead and thread that on. And what we'll do is we'll reset this. We can talk normally now. I'll get, okay, one of the things I did notice, when you go to thread these on, do make sure you get them lined up well, because it is 3D printed. Is that the right end?
I think so. Nope. Nope, it wasn't the right end.
Make sure you get them lined up well so that they thread on. And it is a 3D printed plastic, so if you're on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off a lot with the threads, you may wear them out a little bit, but just be sensitive to that.
I don't see people doing that, though. I mean, generally, once you put it on, you keep it
You'd
on.
want to leave it on. Now, let me go ahead and reset the clock here.
Should I go ahead and cock it?
Go ahead and cock it. That's a good idea.
Okay.
104.6.
All right, so we're looking at what, about a 5 or 6 dB drop? And I think that's pretty standard what we were getting across the rest of them was about a 5 dB drop, which is a significant drop. Now again, if you put a projectile in that, it's going to be even better. Let's look at the Sig, all right? So this is the Sig P226. I guess I can do this one. No, I'll let you do it, actually. That uses the standard 1/2 UNF, so we've got a threaded muzzle. I'll let you do it. It's on safe, but that is, again, unloaded. I'll change this, and we're ready to go quiet. Okay, about the same. So now go ahead and set that up. Any of the guns that have the 1/2 UNF, I really think this is a cool moderator. It's set up to max 22 caliber, so you can run it on a 22. This is a 22 here. We have something that's going to work on our QB here. The other side of it is these are for CO2 guns. I want to specify that. Don't get this thinking you're going to spend $16 and run it on a 75 foot-pound gun. That's probably not going to work. So these are for CO2. They're for quieting down your CO2 guns, having fun in the backyard quietly, and it looks pretty stinky. I mean, show the profile. I think that looks cool.
You want to turn it this way?
Over to that camera?
Yeah.
I think that looks really neat. Okay, so I'm a fan of that. All right, we're going to go ahead and reset this. Okay, are the numbers moving right now?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to hit the max lock. Okay.
103.1.
Okay. It went from like shot noise to just mechanical noise. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that you guys are really going to hear that difference. Is why we got the meter out today. It makes a big difference. That was what, a 6 or 7 dB drop. What was okay? So that is that's a lot. That's a lot of noise reduction. That's audible noise reduction, and it makes a big difference because you went from the pop to just. Oops,
That's what I'm
safety.
safe.
Thank you. I mean, that is just mechanical noise. That is pretty cool. Okay, so I'll let you take that off. I'm going to grab the 2240. Okay, so if you got a 2240 and you want to mount an optic, this is a plastic rail, a plastic breech here. You got to replace it with a steel breech, which means you got to take it apart. That is, I mean, you've done yours.
Yep.
Not a big deal, but if you don't want to go through that, you don't want the, it's just maybe you're not technical. You don't want to get in there and have to deal with that. They actually sell a rail that just slides on and it's held in place by the band here. So you just squish the band back and it's pretty rigid. In fact, it's very rigid, but it supports the barrel, goes right around the CO2 cylinder. And they have another adapter that replaces the rear sight, this, and gives you a rail back here. Now, one of the things I talked to them about, and this kind of goes to just the nature of the company. I gave them a suggestion and immediately I got an email back that said, you know, we like that. We're going to do that. And I thought that was pretty cool. You know, that's not always what we get around here when we throw out a suggestion. But this guy here,
I need your phone.
you need my phone. I will give you my phone.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Photos aren't working.
All right. So this guy right here gives you a bottom rail where you can put light or laser. And we've mounted a Hawk reflex sight to the top. So now, instead of having to buy a, what's the steel breech run?
I don't even know. I don't remember. It's been a while.
It's 50, 60 bucks, something like that. It may not be that much, 30 bucks. I don't know. It's something. But then you do have to take it apart and deal with that aspect of it. But you can just drop this on. This little part here on their website is $14. Okay, it just slides on and you're done. You'd have to take the sight off to get it on, but again, slide it on and you're done. This part here is additional. This little end here is $10. So if you want to have, and what the suggestion I made is right now these don't match. They're not level, which wouldn't really matter. If you just bought this and put a red dot on it, you're fine. But my suggestion is make these level. And so if you wanted to get like a BSA or some pistol scope that had a long eye relief, you'd actually be able to mount a pistol scope over the breech. Yeah. So I think that would be a cool option for something like this because these are actually really accurate and fun to shoot. But without being able to mount an optic, they were a challenge for me. But now, not a challenge, right?
And it looks pretty cool too.
It does look way cool. Now, I'm gonna let you shoot it. We're gonna do the same exercise. And we have a couple different options I want to show you on this particular gun to make it quiet. Okay, so we'll go through both of them. Okay. So there's that. We're going to reset our dB meter here. So that should be numbers flipping. I can't see the camera.
Yes.
Okay. And when I'm going to lock it into place, ready to go and quiet.
113.8.
Okay. That's loud.
Yep.
Okay. First thing we're going to do is they have a moderator that just slips on because if we pull the front sight off, which you'd have to do, okay, there are no threads.
Yep.
Okay, so you would take this moderator, find the hole, there it is, and it just slides on. And then you take a Allen wrench and lock it. Now, one of the things about this, and I've talked to him, and we're probably hopefully going to try and come up with a solution, right? Once this is in, if you want to change your CO2, you got to take the moderator off, okay? Because it has this sharp angle. But let's just see what the difference is. Ready? So we were at 113 and some change?
113.8.
Okay, well, let's say 114. That's a lot. That's loud. That was noticeably louder than the other guns. All right, so we're going to go quiet and lock.
113.5.
Really? Okay, let's try that again. It sounded a lot less.
108.1.
Okay, there we go. That 8, we're looking for about a 5 dB drop. Okay, you want to do it one more just for error?
Sure.
Margin of error here.
109.5.
Okay, so 4 to 5 dB, all right? We're better than point something dB, right? I want to show another option for this too, because let's say you've got your typical Crosman, I think it's a 7/16, yeah, 7/16 barrel. So let's say you've got some other Crosman product. They make a universal 1/2 UNF adapter. Okay, now I was wondering on that taper if I'd be able to get the CO2 in and out. I don't know yet. We haven't shot this enough to know, but I'm going to go ahead and fix this to the gun. Then I'll let you use the 1/2 UNF and we'll test that one. So we have about a 114 starting point, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm going to let you go ahead and thread that on. And for $15, or I think, we're talking $15, $16 for these parts. That's pretty good. And I believe you go to the website, they have a 15% off coupon right now. So I don't know how long that'll last, but if you go check them out today, you're going to have some cool stuff there. All right, ready?
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. 104.9.
Okay, better. Let's do it one more time. So that is a good option. And
103.1.
okay, so we're looking at almost over a 10 dB drop with that setup.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. Now I don't know if you didn't have this on it, if you had the rear sight, if that would work or not. But if it did, that would be a really cool way, because I hadn't thought about that till now. But that would be a really cool way to make the most out of that kind of an adapter. Now this kit here, this adapter is $15, and then you add the suppressor. So here you're looking at about $32, give or take a little bit for that. But I think that's a cool solution. But if you had one of their other guns, like gosh, the old 2250 or any of those other Crosman guns that use the 7/16 barrel, this will work. I think that's cool. Okay, we have one more we're going to check out. And this was a suggestion I floated. Maybe they were already working on it, but I said, a really popular gun is the QB78, but it doesn't have a threaded end. I said, and I like shooting them with open sight, so I don't want to have to take the front sight off to just use a slip-on moderator, which is some of the other solutions that have existed out there. They said, well, send me the dimensions, and I grabbed my micrometer and measured it and sent them photos, and they came up with this guy. As you notice, it's got a slot right here at the top. I don't know which camera you want me on, Sue.
2 now.
2. But it's got a little slot there and a set screw, and it'll slide. Can you see that okay? It'll slide right on over top, and it really is relative. It's good tight tolerances here. I mean, it doesn't go on like you got to bang it on with a hammer or something, but it fits nice. And a little turn of the set screw, and now you've got a moderated QB78. I think that's slick.
Yeah.
Now let's take it off and we'll do our test.
Really cool thing about these is it makes the suppressors available for people with all different budgets.
Right.
Super cool.
Okay. And we're not at the best angle for this, but it's going to be frame of reference. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
actually, that's pretty good. All right, so we should be seeing random numbers now.
Yep.
Everybody quiet.
106.7.
Okay, that's got a throaty, more of a throaty sound to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to drop this on. Okay.
The same?
103. Oh, the other
Oh.
one was like 107.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's a little bit less. Let's take another shot for margin of error here. Okay, less of a difference there. I bet if we put a pellet in that, we'd have a different result. The other thing you guys probably aren't hearing is there's a difference in the sound Like the other one's just like this deep throaty thud, and that was more of a, I don't know, a higher pitched piff. I don't know how to put it. That's how I would describe it. But there it is. You can definitely hear a difference here in the room. The meter's just not catching it as dramatically as it did some of these others. But I think that's pretty cool. I think in the backyard, youngster with his CO2 Beeman we'll put a halfway decent little scope on that, and you've got a 10, 15 meter tack driving fun time in the backyard for sure.
Yeah, your neighbors will appreciate it too.
Yeah, right. The mice might not. It'd be a great little ratting gun. Angie, did you have any questions? I mean, first of all, your first experience with this, because you use moderators on your air guns. It's useful in your neighborhood to not irritate your next door neighbors. I mean, you do have your roosters, which I think are far louder than your air guns. If you guys watch your videos, you got to check out
The dB meter says different, Rick.
Okay, you got to check out her grip reviews because her roosters are active participants.
Yes.
What's your daughter's roosters?
Yeah,
right?
they're not mine.
Yes, but they are active participants in her videos, so you got to check that out. But you use moderators a lot, but you've never used
No, I saw these on your live, on a Tuesday night live you did. And then when I got here, I picked them up, and honestly, I was like, really? I really didn't have very high expectations for them. But then when we tested them, I was, wow, this is awesome. The coolest thing is, like I said, it makes it available for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's super sweet.
For them, it's about availability and price point. So
Yeah.
check them out. It's AirgunCapital.com. They have a little banner on GTA. Click on that. You can go to the GTA, and I believe they're active. I'm pretty sure they're active in the vendor gate where you can go in there and they may be running specials. So if you're not a member of the GTA, go do that because you can communicate with most of our sponsors are active in the vendor gate, and they have special deals just for GTA members. So you want to go look at that regularly. But check out their website and get in touch with them. But I was also very impressed once I started putting them on the air guns and seeing the kind of change they made. Very cool. I was most excited about the Diana Chaser because I like that pistol a lot, but it has a threaded muzzle. I want to put a moderator on it. And I didn't want to have to buy an adapter. And then, I mean, the gun's not that expensive. I didn't want to spend $200 on a moderator
Right.
to make that quiet when I could do it for $16.
So I have a question.
Okay.
So they listened to you about this with the
Right.
site and everything. So my question is, could a consumer be like, hey, I have this gun and you guys don't have a suppressor that'll fit it. Can you make one?
You know, I don't know for sure, but my guess would be, okay, they are a small business looking to meet the needs of the consumer. Mm-hmm. I would certainly reach out. I would not hesitate if you've got a gun that you've always wanted to make quiet, if there's a way they can 3D print something. You know, a one-off probably is not going to be $16, okay? Just come into that understanding. But if it's a super popular gun, it may be worth them to do the CAD, do the SolidWorks or whatever they're using to create the models. They may do it. I'm talking on their behalf. Maybe I'm talking out of turn a little bit. But I would say it never hurts to ask.
Yeah.
Because when I showed them this, I mean, QB78 is like very, very popular. It's a sub $100 CO2 gun that shoots very well. It's not most powerful, but it is very accurate. For what it is, it's very, very good. And the fact that, now for $16 or whatever, I can make it quiet,
Yeah.
that's cool. So I would certainly reach out to them and ask them, hey, I've got XYZ air gun. Can you guys have something in the works? Can you make that happen? It never hurts to ask, and maybe they can do it for you. I think definitely reach out for sure.
Cool.
I think that's going to be it for this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Definitely check them out. Again, Airgun Capital, www.airguncapital.com. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this morning. We've got to go move all of this gear out there because we have got a crazy full day, an awesome day of
Lots
shooting
of trigger time.
really cool air guns today. Tomorrow's weather is going to be a little iffy. We're not quite sure how that's going to work out, so we've moved as much as we could from tomorrow that was live shooting to today. So once we get out there today, it's going to be full-on shooting videos. So you're definitely going to want to stay on our website, theairgunexpo.com. We're going to be broadcasting on AirgunWeb Facebook page because that seems to be what's working right now. So definitely go there, hang out with us today. About every hour, we're going to have something new. I mean, starting at about 11 o'clock, we'll have something every hour after that. So come hang out with us. And check out Airgun Capital and their very, very cool airgun stuff. Angie, any last thoughts?
Nope.
You all set?
Yep.
All right, guys, we'll see you in a couple hours. Hope that was fun. And again, thanks for watching.
See ya.